A young woman is arrested near Malibu late at night. Hours later, she is released from custody without her phone, car, or money. The station sits miles from the nearest safe place. She walks into darkness alone. No one sees where she goes. No confirmed sighting follows. Days turn into months with no answers. Her belongings remain untouched. The timeline stops the moment she leaves the station. Over a year later, her remains are found in a remote canyon. What happened between release and disappearance remains unknown. The hours before her release were already unusual. Late on September 16, 2009, Mitrice Richardson is detained at a Malibu restaurant. Witnesses describe her behavior as erratic and out of character. She speaks about strange ideas and unsettles people nearby. Staff call authorities after concerns escalate. Deputies arrive and take her into custody without resistance. She is transported to Lost Hills Sheriff Station. The station sits far from the city, surrounded by hills and long empty roads. Inside, she is booked for minor charges. Her mother is contacted and expresses concern about her mental state. She asks if her daughter will be kept overnight. Authorities indicate she may be released. At this time, Mitrice has no phone, no wallet, and no car. Her personal belongings remain elsewhere. The area around the station offers no immediate transport or shelter. Public services are limited, especially at night. Hours pass as she remains inside the station. No arrangements are confirmed for her safe pickup. The situation remains quiet but unresolved. Outside, the roads remain dark and isolated. Shortly after midnight, a decision is made. Mitrice Richardson is released into the night. What follows after her release is largely unknown. Shortly after midnight, Mitrice steps outside the station. There is no confirmed transportation waiting. The surrounding area is dark and sparsely populated. No taxi records confirm a pickup. No nearby businesses remain open at that hour. She is seen briefly near the station grounds. After that moment, her path disappears. Investigators later try to reconstruct possible routes. Nearby roads lead into hills, canyons, and isolated terrain. The environment offers little visibility and few witnesses. Foot travel would be slow and difficult in the dark. Some reports suggest she may have walked along the roadway. Others consider the possibility of entering nearby trails. No confirmed surveillance captures her direction. No clear timeline forms after release. The silence begins almost immediately. Hours pass without any confirmed contact. Morning arrives with no trace of her movements. Search efforts do not begin right away. The gap between release and search becomes critical. The moment she leaves the station marks the start of the incident. There is no confirmed interaction with anyone after release. No calls are made from her. No messages are sent. She carries nothing that could track her movement. The night conditions reduce visibility across the area. Temperatures drop as hours pass. The terrain becomes more difficult away from the main road. Any deviation from the roadway increases risk. Investigators consider whether she stayed near the highway. Others question if she moved into the surrounding hills. No physical evidence confirms either direction. No items belonging to her are found along nearby routes. Search grids later show large areas with no trace. The absence of evidence becomes a defining factor. Time continues without interruption. No sightings are reported throughout the night. No witnesses come forward in the following days. The event remains contained within a narrow window. Between release and disappearance, nothing is confirmed. That silence becomes the center of the case. Days pass before concern begins to escalate. Her family expects contact that never comes. Attempts to reach her produce no response. Her phone remains inactive. Her car is still parked where she left it. No signs suggest she returned to familiar places. The absence becomes noticeable. A missing person report is filed. Authorities begin initial checks in surrounding areas. Search efforts focus near the sheriff's station. Volunteers and deputies examine nearby roads. Attention turns toward the surrounding hills. The terrain complicates organized search patterns. Visibility and access remain limited in many areas. No confirmed trace is discovered. No clothing or belongings are located. The search expands outward over time. Helicopters scan the canyon regions. Ground teams move through difficult terrain. Still, no clear evidence emerges. The disappearance remains unresolved.
As the search continues, attention shifts to the investigation itself. Questions begin to focus on the release decision. Why was she allowed to leave alone at that hour? Records show no confirmed safe transport arranged. The location of the station becomes a key concern. It sits far from populated areas and public services. Internal procedures come under review. Communication between deputies is examined. Statements from staff are collected and compared. Timelines are reconstructed from available records. Small inconsistencies begin to appear. Details about her condition that night are revisited. Her mental state becomes central to the discussion. Family statements highlight concern expressed earlier. Investigators review whether those concerns were acted on. Public scrutiny increases around the case. Media coverage begins to expand the story. Community members question the sequence of events. Authorities maintain that procedures were followed. Still, gaps in the timeline remain unresolved. The investigation deepens without clear answers.
Over time, the case shifts from search to evidence and theory. More than a year later, a discovery is made in a remote canyon. Human remains are located in difficult terrain. The location is miles from where she was released. The area is not easily accessible. Investigators begin forensic analysis. Identification confirms the remains belong to Mitrice Richardson. The timeline between release and death remains unclear. No definitive cause is publicly established. The position of the remains raises further questions. There are no clear signs explaining how she reached that location. The distance suggests significant movement through rough terrain. Some theories suggest she walked into the hills. Others consider the possibility of third-party involvement. No conclusive evidence supports either scenario. Environmental factors are also examined. The terrain, weather, and isolation are analyzed. Each theory attempts to explain the missing time. None fully account for the entire sequence. The case remains open to interpretation. Uncertainty continues to define what happened. In the end, the case leaves more questions than answers. The decision to release her remains central to the discussion. a young woman was left alone in an isolated environment. No confirmed path explains how she reached the canyon. The timeline between those moments is still incomplete. Investigations examine procedure but do not resolve the outcome. Forensic findings confirm identity but not the full sequence. The terrain offers possibilities but no certainty. Each theory explains part of the story, not all of it. The absence of witnesses limits reconstruction. The absence of evidence limits conclusions. Family questions continue without closure. Public attention brings scrutiny, but not resolution. The case becomes a study in unanswered gaps. A short window of time holds the entire mystery. From release to disappearance, the record is silent. That silence defines the case. What happened in those hours remains unknown. The sequence cannot be fully reconstructed. The outcome cannot be fully explained. Mitrice Richardson's final movements remain unresolved.